So in the next 10 minutes, we are going to hear from Melonia Mulemo. She's a history maker, class of 2016, and also she's making an impact with a foundation called Ezra Foundation. Good afternoon, Melonia.
Sorry, it's actually good morning here in Canada. It's 10 a.m. in the morning. As you can see, As you can see, I'm still actually very sleepy.
Thank you so much for waking up early in the morning to share the difference that you're making in your community.
Thank you so much for the platform. I will quickly go to my presentation and then share with you guys. Just give me a second so the slide can play. All right, so I'm gonna start by talking about my background. My name is Melonia Mulemo, and I completed my university in 2016. I was at Midland State University, and I graduated with a bachelor's in tourism and hospitality management. For me to be able to acquire this degree, it was really a struggle because I grew up without parents. I lost my parents when I was very young. I lost my father when I was 5 years and my mother when I was grade 7. So I grew up staying with my grandmother, who was also taking care of a lot of kids at the time. I remember sometimes I would go to school with no shoes. I would go to school without any lunch. I never had anybody to help me with homework. I would be short of, exercise books. I would be expelled from school because I never had, enough. But through the gracious grace of God, I managed to complete my grade 1 to 7 with the help of BIM. I also went to my high school and I was assisted by another scholarship, which was some people who were in the United States at the time. When I got to Form 4, unfortunately, the scholarship failed. After the scholarship failed, I couldn't proceed to my A level. I was 16 and this was the most depressing time of my life. I remember I opted to go to work as a maid. I joined a family. I was taking care of these people, waking up early in the morning, 4 a.m. Why was I doing that? Because I knew in my heart, I really wanted to be somebody else in life. I wanted to change the background. I wanted to be a different person. So I worked 1 year as a maid. To cut the long story short, I managed to be directed to Higher Life Foundation. This is when my life changed. My life changed completely from the moment I entered the Westgate offices. The moment I went to a boarding school, they catered for everything. I owe Higher Life Foundation a lot. I owe Mrs. M a whole lot. They changed my life for the mentorship, the school fees, the support, the love, and the family. So this made me realize how much humanity is important to us. I decided one day that whenever I get an opportunity, whenever I get a chance, even the little amount, I would start something. I would give back. That's the only way I could repay everybody that assisted me. So I'm gonna go and talk about the objectives. So the objectives, one of the objectives of my charity is to help children around the world to realize their skills and their full potential through education. Just like what Higher Life Foundation did, just like what our patrons did to my life. I was a potential kid, no parents, no fees, no food, not even a relative who was living in the city, but they realized that this girl has got a potential. This girl can amount to something else. So they helped me and made me reach my full potential. Now I am here. I'm working. I've got a stable job. I recently moved to Canada in 2019. So the only way to thank all these people, the only way to thank Mrs. M and Higher Life is also to do something that is similar, because there is no competition in charity. I'll also move on to one of our visions. We believe that every child should have an opportunity to receive an elementary education regardless of their financial situation. You do not have a parent, that's not a problem. You do not have family, that's not a problem. As long as we see that you have got potential, we want you to reach that full potential. So this is why we developed, this is why we created Ezra Foundation. Most of you guys might be asking, what is Ezra Foundation? How did you come up with the name? One of these days I was sleeping and I was debating which one of the fancy names I could use. Should I use Footprints of Hope? Should I use, or maybe Helping Hands? Those nice and fancy names. But one day I had a dream. The Lord said, Ezra, I read my Bible. I know the word is in the Bible. I didn't know the meaning. So I woke up early in the morning, Googled the name Ezra, and then I realized it meant help, aid, or protect. So I was like, oh, why not? Why not go ahead with this gracious name that the Lord has given me? So this is why we chose the name Ezra Foundation. Why do we dwell? Why did we choose rural areas? I spent 3/4 of my life in the village. I was a village girl. You cannot tell me how to fetch firewood. You cannot tell me how to cut, how to cut leaves of tobaccos, how to harvest tobaccos. You cannot tell me how to walk 20 kilometers, to go Kushigayo. I've been through all that. So I decided to choose people from the village. I decided to choose people from where I come from, who I can relate with the most, because this is my roots, this is where I come from. So we basically starting from the rural areas, we will be going forward to the cities as well as where there is need. So what we do, as I mentioned earlier, we provide basic school necessities. Recently, we donated 15 computers to Nyamweda Primary School, and we also donated a complete uniform for winter, which means we provided hats, we provided gloves, jerseys, a full uniform, socks, shoes, or the polish, the books, everything that they need so that they can attend school with confidence. We have provided that for our beneficiaries. I started with 3 beneficiaries in February. Currently, we have 20 students who are on the scholarship. We have also managed to pay school fees for them for the entire year, and we are running a lot of programs that can assist them in the future. On the screen here, you can see this is some of the things that we have donated to the school. We have the shoes. We have this little girl smiling with her sister. She was receiving her package, her donation. We also donated books, pens, rulers to everybody who was at the school. The total was, I think, about 430 students. We managed to give each one of them a few books, pens, rulers, and so on. We have also managed to refurbish some classroom blocks which were in a really bad state. We have bought them new chalkboards. We have also built new chalkboards for the school. This is some of the computers that we have donated. Before I conclude my presentation, I would like to let you guys know that we are on Facebook page, and we are Ezra Foundation on Facebook. We are also on Twitter, and I'm going to share with you my website. So you just have to type elation, and this will pop up. So this would be the screen. If you want to know more about this charity, there is the facts questions. So it has all the questions that you want to know more. What is Ezra Foundation? How much of my donation will go towards the program? Where do I mail my donations? There's all answers there. To conclude my presentation, I want to tell everyone who is here present that you do not need a lot of money to start a charity. All you need is the heart, the drive to help the less privileged. There is so much that you can do in this world. There is no competition in charity. We actually need a lot of people in charity.
Thank you so much for sharing your great works, great difference that you're making, Melonia, in your community. And I really quoted what you have said, that there's no competition in making charity. You know, when you were talking, that has reminded me when I also grew up in the rural areas. But now the question to me is now, how best can I make a difference in my community? So indeed, you have not only challenged those who are also on the platform, but me personally, you have challenged me to look back again to my community and see what the difference that I can make in my community. And I can see there's fire in the chat box, Melonia, and I can see people, they're saying, awesome work, this is awesome, Ezra Foundation, this is great. I can see great work, ma'am, so touching and easily. Let me just get quickly to that comment. I think is a touching comment. I can say I'm really touched. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for shedding more light. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Wow, there's no competition in charity. So, Miss Melonia, people, they have greatly appreciated your the difference and also the organization that you are doing. And what is the last way to a girl child who is connected here, who says, I cannot make it, I have hardships that I've experienced. I have been abused. I do not want to go back to my community. I have bitterness. What is your advice to such kind of a girl?
My advice to a girl child in Zimbabwe or all over the world, the sky is the limit. I grew up with no father. I grew up with no mother. I grew up with no grandmother from my dad's side of the family. I only had one grandmother who is actually late now. So if you think your situation is worse, just think of me. I do not have two grandmothers. I do not have a mother, and I do not have a father. There is no that can define who you are. If you are born with it while you were holding it like this, you still can do it. The sky is the limit. The sky is the limit. As long as you trust in the Lord, everything will work best for you. The Lord will make sure it will work in your favor.